All right, so what we're going to do on this very first session of Sunday Ukulele since, oh, it's been a while, right? What I'm going to do is first talk about some ideas about incorporating what we do here into your playtime or practice time. I often think of it just as playtime because I play and play. So I know this will be familiar to a few of you folks when I talk about like a 5-minute practice or a 10-minute practice. So if you feel like you don't have a lot of time in your day, how do you get this practice time in there, right? So a 5-minute practice, what I think of with that is play something that you like, that you're familiar with, right? It can be anything. It can be your favorite song to strum and sing, doesn't matter. It's something that you start off with, that you can warm up with, that you're comfortable with. And then after that, move into some of the techniques that we'll be covering in here. Okay? So you might play your song, maybe it's a 2-minute song, right? Or a minute and a half, something like that. Then you're done. And then you work on some of the techniques. So it'll be some finger picking patterns, maybe some different chords that you're not used to playing with. You might practice the finger picking patterns by themselves, and then just practice maybe strumming the chords by themselves, and then you're going to put them together. And you might spend just a couple minutes doing that. 1 minute on chords, 1 minute on one of the picking patterns. Then end off with a song to play. You start with a piece of candy, you end with a piece of candy. The trickier stuff is in the middle, okay? And that could be a quick 5-minute practice. I say that because I know sometimes it can be so hard to fit new material like this into your day. If you want to extend it into a 10-minute practice, you can do that too. And Shirley, I know you did a write-up, I think, a few years ago about a 5-minute practice versus a 10-minute practice, and I'm going to see if I can find that. I remember you emailed that to me. Yeah, right on. Okay.
I don't remember that.
I remember. So what I'm going to start off with is like this first session, I'm going to show you guys how to play my a song I wrote called Morning Meditation. And some of you have done that in the past, but it might be a good refresher for you. Some of you it'll be new for, and this will be just good fun. So what I'm going to do, because my cell phone thing didn't work, I'm just going to stand up and get right in the camera with my hands so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So when you're practicing, what I want you to do, and I do this, you know what, I think I do it every day. I'm just going to get my fingers on all 4 of my strings. This works for a low 4-tuned ukulele or a high, doesn't matter, okay? So when I say that, I'm talking about that 4th string there. Okay? So I've got my thumb a little bit ahead of my fingers. If you're not sure about that placement, you can do a thumbs up and then plop it down like that. Okay. The whole idea behind that, now I'm overdoing it a little bit so you can really see it, but the idea is to make sure that when you're playing, these two don't interfere with each other. So that's why you want to have it a little bit ahead. And then when you get comfortable, what I want you to do is that, and then put them back down. So you're not necessarily going to be doing this, bloop, putting them back down when you play. This is an exercise. Usually, like I've heard it referred to as a full plant exercise. I've got some people coming in here. There we go. Okay. So I've heard it referred to as the full plant in all of my classical guitar training. There's probably different, depending on the instrument you play and the style of music you play, I think there's different terms for it. But if you sit there, you can do it fast or slow. I recommend slow to start, and watch your hands. And then what I would do is do this. So I'm going to turn so you can see. I've got them all lined up like that. When I do this flick, see how I'm just letting them flick like that towards my finger or towards the palm of my hand a little bit, like waving bye-bye. Thumb is going to make a circle. The whole idea behind that is that you want to get those fingers ready to go right away. Let's just focus on the thumb for a minute. Just get that thumb going like that. Make a little circle with it. So after you play a string, it bounces right back. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, right on. I will do that a lot. I'll be sitting watching a show. As opposed to, right? Because that's a waste of energy. You want to make sure that happens. So right now, in the end, what I'm really talking about is economy of movement. Getting ready. Keeping that energy on the strings rather than going away. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Just give me a thumb. Yeah, okay, right on. Okay. So when you're playing this, you can think of the strings by their names. G, C, E, A, because I've got mine tuned in C6. I think everyone here has C6 as opposed to D6. Or you can think strings 4, 3, 2, 1. Often, when I'm writing out picking patterns for string numbers, I'll just say strings 4, 3, 2, 3. And that's where, if you practice saying to yourself 4, 3, 2, 1 when you're doing this, it might be handy for you. Okay, so now 4, 3, 2, 3 is actually what we're going to do. So I'm going to go like this now. And then go back to that third string. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm not planting my fingers right away, right? Like I'm letting them hover just above the string so that they're ready to go. And it doesn't matter if you have, like I say, a high 4 string or a low 4. 4, 3, 2, 3. The big thing you want to try to do is to not do this. You don't want to go like moving your hand away. Rather than thinking about picking the strings up, pluck them that way. Okay. That way, you can get really fast after a while because you're very economical with your movements. I just want to check this tuning. I feel like it might be a little bit hodgepodgey. Hey, there you are. There we go. Okay. So that's step 1. So I moved the camera down low, so I'm going to peek. I moved it down low so that I could get zeroed in on my fingers. Step 1, get that picking pattern down. Okay, here comes step 2. We're going to be playing some of the chords from that song. Now these chords are some different ones. Some of them, there we go. Some of them Bailey will know from a little jazz tune I wrote the other night, which I'm going to give you guys the chords for that too, because it's really fun to play. Anyway, but we won't start with that right this second. We'll get this one going. I'm going to show you guys the chords we'll be doing. We're going to cut into that now. As I bite my lip and try to remember how to share a screen. I think I got it. There we go. Okay, do you guys see Morning Meditation Part 1? Is that coming up on your screen? Okay, cool. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I just want to zoom right in on the chords right now. Hopefully that's big enough in on your tablets as well. So what I want to do is focus on this one here, A sus4, because what's going to happen is you got A sus4 to F major 7, and you just use the same finger on that 4th string. Middle finger is going to stay down the whole time. It is your guide. That middle finger just sits right there on string 4, never moves. So now some of you may be comfortable reading tabs, some may not. I'm not totally sure. So we'll just go through it a little chunk at a time. I'm going to play that A sus4 chord. I'm going to use my middle finger on the 4th string, my ring finger on the 3rd string. For those of you who know me, you know I love sus chords. Something about them. Sus chords and F major 7s. Okay. Now once I've got that A sus4, I'm going to go up to the F major 7. Okay. And that is just sliding those same 2 fingers up to the 5th fret. It sounds cool, eh? What I want you to do is get comfortable between the A sus4 and the F major 7. Take some time, go back and forth. I'm going back down to the A sus4, and I'm just strumming right now. I just want to hear that sound. Okay. I'm going to go back up to that F major 7. Again, I'm not using my pointer finger. That pointer finger is going to be reserved for the A minor and the B7 add 11 chord. So don't use your pointer finger on those first 2 chords. Now the A minor, let's take a look at that one. Keep in mind, you guys, that when you're playing an instrument like this, a fretted instrument, there are so many different ways to make a chord. So many. So this A minor has your middle finger on the 5th fret, and pointer finger is going to be on the 3rd fret. Pardon me, 4th fret of string 3. Okay, give that a little strum there. Now I'm going to write down, so finger 2 there, finger 1 there. Okay. No, oh my gosh. Sorry, I've got to figure out how to erase that. I was admitting someone. Finger 3 there. Yeah. This is really hard to draw with the mouse. I'm just going to tell you guys that right now. That's very challenging for me. So, and then over here, finger 2. Finger 3. Finger 2. Finger 1. There we go. I think I was holding my breath doing that, you know? All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I'm going to play those chords so you guys can watch me. There we go. Okay, so we've got our A sus2. And play it with me, okay? Okay, now we're going up to that F major 7. With this one, of course, you can keep both fingers down, but I just want to point out that, like, the whole time with this song, middle finger is going to stay glued down on that 4th string. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that A minor. Okay, so strings 5 and then 4. Oh, sorry. Fret 5 on 4th string. Fret 4 on 3rd string. Okay, now we've got frets 4 and 3. Okay, and then back to here. Back to that A minor. Yeah, right on. The chord charts will come back up on the screen, but check this out. That's playing those 4 chords with just the 4-3-2-3 picking pattern. So get on that 4-3-2-3 picking pattern, and I'm just using that the A sus4. So it's 4-3-2-3, 4-3-2-3. Yeah, good. Okay, now I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna move up to that F major 7. And that's on the 5th fret. And then same picking pattern. Yeah. Let's make that A minor. See that? That's fret 5 on the 4th string. And fret 4 on that 3rd string. Good. You know what it looks like? Looks like your A major chord. When you make that shape up on that 5th fret, it becomes an A minor. So same picking pattern. one more, let's just do it. Oh yeah. Shift down one fret, yeah. So now we're on frets 4 and 3 for the B7 at 11. Yeah. Let's go back home to frets 2 and 2, and then open, open. Now, there will be times in these lessons where I draw the fret chart or the chord chart just with numbers. So in this case, if I was to write this down, you would see just the numbers 2, 2, and then 0, 0 for these two open strings. So it'd be 2, 2, 0, 0. And that's just a preview. Just keep that in mind that you'll see that at some point in time. All right, now we're going to share again, and we're just going to get going and play through this thing here. Okay, so we have the chords. You can see in the first part of this tune, all I'm doing is I'm getting people to go back and forth between A sus4 and F major 7, but there's an extra picking pattern that's in there that I want you guys to see. Okay, so this is the one that we started with, 4, 3, 2, 3 as your string numbers. Okay, and then what I did for the second part was I went string 1 and still 3, 2, 3. So what I want you to do is make your A sus4 chord, and I want you to pluck string 1 and then string 3 and then 2 and then 3. 1, 3, 2, 3. All I've done, it looks weird, but all I've done is the first picking pattern uses a 4th string to start. The second picking pattern uses the 1st string to start, and that's it. And it becomes this. Sounds so fancy all of a sudden because you've got two different patterns plopped together. Now, what I want to do is open it for questions at this point, because now we've talked about two different picking patterns and some chords. So if you have a question, unmute yourself, ask the question, and then mute yourself again. And this is also an opportunity just to sit and practice what's on that screen. And this will all go onto my website after the lesson, because I wasn't on the ball enough to put it on my website right away. Well, everyone seems to have it pretty good there. Okay, so I'm going to just scroll down on that screen a little bit because you guys can see it's the same two chords. It changes at the end here. And I'll make the screen a little smaller so you can see all of this first page. Remember the A minor chord shape where it's up on frets 5 and 4? You just play through it once with the first picking pattern I showed you. B7 at 11, you just slide back a fret. Okay. I'm going to play this last line just so you can hear it and see what happens with it. Okay, so you've got your A minor, and that's where it's frets 5, 4, right? 0, 4, using your middle finger on that 5th fret and index finger on your 4th. And then you're just going to slide back one fret to make that B7 at 11. And then coming back home to the A sus4. Okay, so I'm going to play that bottom line again. I'm going to call it the fret numbers while I play it. Okay. 5, 4, 0, 4, moving back a fret. 4, 3, 0, 3, coming home to the A sus4. 2, 2, 0, 2, Now, I wanted to make sure that you guys got that, like what I've done with this morning meditation is I've written it out in a few different ways so that you don't have to stare at everything right away. This is the first part of it. I might have to make it a little teeny bit smaller. I'll scroll. Oh. Heather has a question. Okay, can I get you to unmute yourself? Or I don't know if I
Yeah, I did. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Sorry, you sort of lost me with what the numbers on the tabs mean.
Yeah, because it's different to read it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how it relates to the chord shapes. I'm glad that you said something, Heather, because it's so good to have these questions, right? The chord shapes themselves is what you want to look at initially. And then you can take that and you can apply it to the tab that you see. Ultimately, what you have is 2 picking patterns to play with and 4 chord shapes. Now, when you look at the A sus4 right up there, you've got frets 2 and 2 where your fingers are, and 0 and 0. And that's when you see the frets 2, 2, 0, and 2 there. And that's the ones that you play are based on the fingers you use to pluck with. Now it gets busy looking on that bottom line, right? So I'm going to go down to that bottom line, but first you've got your A minor chord shape up top here, right? And you can see that you've got your middle finger on the 5th fret, index finger on the 4th fret, and then for that next chord, everything's just been shifted towards the head of the ukulele by 1 fret, 4th fret, and then 3rd. So now let's go down to the bottom of the screen and see what it looks like as tab. There's your A minor with the middle finger on that 5th fret, index finger on the 4th fret. And that open is just sitting there because of that finger picking pattern that you're using with your right hand, with your picking hand. And the same thing applies with that B7 at 11. It's just a different way of looking at it. And it can be a bit weird at first. But even if it doesn't come right away, if you can take a look at that chord chart and then see what it looks like on that tablature, that can be very handy. Something you can do with the paper when you print it off is you can write down the chord chart right next to that chord name so that you can look at it and then apply it to that tablature. Does that help? Or, ask me more questions. You're nodding, it makes sense? Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to scroll out now and I'm going to play this whole thing. And there, so it's gotten teeny now, but hopefully you can see it well enough on your screen if you're on a tablet. So I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to stop sharing the screen and then play it so you can watch my hands. Okay, so I start with that A sus4. Remember, the picking pattern is you're going to use your thumb, index, and middle to pluck strings 4, 3, 2, 3. And then the second part of that picking pattern is going to be plucking string 1, 3, 2, 3. Now we focused mostly on the 4, 3, 2, 3. So it might be that you play with me and you just get the first picking pattern with me and you don't quite get that second one, and that's okay. It'll come. Okay, here we go. I'm going to come in nice and slow. I'll say the picking pattern one time so that you can feel the tempo of it. 4, 3, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3. Here I go. 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. Same chord again. Now I'm going to move up to the 5th fret for my F major 7 at the end of that line. Everyone there? Okay, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. Next line. we're going back down to the A sus4. Okay, one more time in that A sus4. Our strings are 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. Last line, I shift my middle finger up to that 5th fret. Index finger goes onto the 4th fret, and I just play the first picking pattern of the 4, 3, 2, 3. I shift towards the head of the ukulele by 1 fret. 4, 3, 2. Come back home to that A sus4. And I pluck the 4th string just one time with my thumb. Now what I'm going to do is stop sharing, and I'm going to let you watch me play it with my hands up on the screen here. All right, can you guys see my ukulele okay there? Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. Here we go. I'm trying to be kind of overdoing it a bit with my picking, so you can see which finger's moving. I'm going to play it again, but I'll play it the way I like to sit and just flow through it. I'll play it again. Something that I want you guys to notice when I'm playing, remember how I said I kept that middle finger down? That whole time, I did not lift that middle finger. I just kept it planted. So in order to play like that, smoothly moving from chord to chord, make sure you practice the chords like that, okay? That's like a train on a track. It doesn't come up. You want to keep that down. Now, I know that there are some people on here that are quite comfortable with finger picking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the whole song. I'm going to just give you guys the whole shebang today, but we'll review it next week. The next part looks can look a little bit funky, I think, but once you get comfortable with your picking, it's a bit surprising how much you can do. Okay, I just got to find, where's my sharing button? Here we go. This is part 2 of the song. Part 2, you'll see if you take a look, I know I don't have the chord charts written on this part, but I want you to notice all the way through, middle finger is going to stay down. We're making an A major chord here. Okay. Just stays there. Over here, actually I could probably just do some annotating here. Okay, we've got A major. Over here, let's call this bad boy an F sharp minor. I guess because I just want to like make it harder for myself. Did I do it? Yes, okay, I did it. F sharp minor. Okay. F sharp, well that looks for, Life of me like a C6. There we go. You know what? I'm going to stop writing these chord names because what really matters is the fingering. You take the F sharp minor fingering, okay, which is, let's go back to here. To make an F sharp minor, you make your A chord and add your ring finger onto fret 2, on string 2. And then what happens in this part of the song is you just play that same picking pattern, and all you do is you plop that chord shape on a different fret. Nothing else changes. So I'm going to play it so you can hear what it sounds like, and then I'll show you what my fingers look like when they do that. Okay? And if you've got the idea or you've played it before, then I invite you, please play along with me. Okay? It won't be really fast. I want to take my time with it. So line 1, so we're looking at just the A chord. Picking pattern's the same. 4, 3, 2, 3, but it sounds all perky now. Then I do it again. Okay, so now the F sharp minor. Oh, I see, I scrolled, so now my chord shapes are in a different spot. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put my ring finger down on that 2nd fret there. Make an F sharp minor. Here we go. Little tension. Okay, next line. Still the same chord shape with that. You can see those frets are 2, 1, 2. Look at that next part though. Now I've lifted my ring finger off and I've gone back to my A major. And I put it back down. And that's the only time where things are going to change. That's it. I didn't want to make it crazy. So back to the F sharp minor. Now take a look at your fingers. Just take a look at your fretboard there, and you can see you're making a triangle shape. That triangle shape is what you're going to want to keep all the way up that fretboard, even though the frets are going to get teeny. So take that same shape and move it on up to your 5th fret. And you play it one time. It does get busy along here. So 5th fret. But all you really have to follow if you make that triangle shape is the fret number on that 4th string. Everything leads with the middle finger on this study. Down to the 4th fret, still making the triangle shape. Up to that 7th fret. Still a triangle. Next line, back down to that 5th fret. Wow! Up to the 9th fret. Check for the triangle because the frets are getting tiny. 7th fret. And you guys, some of you might have a dot on your 10th fret, which is good because things are tiny. If you find like your strings get muffled up there, angle your fingers so that they're more on their tippy toes. I'll show you what I mean. Now you're just going to keep driving towards that 12th fret. So you're going to hit the 11th fret next, and then the 12th fret. And I don't show you what happens here, but I'm going to stop sharing the screen so you can watch my hands, okay? All right. So it looks so busy, oh, but it's so much fun to play. All right. So I'll play this a couple of times, and then I'll take questions. So I'm on my A chord. So I'm combining those 2 picking patterns. Now I'm making that triangle. I've got my ring finger down. Back to A. I think I missed that the first time. goes back down. I'm on that second line now. And this is where it starts to take off. Fifth fret. You can keep your whole hand down, just lift and shift, but I did like that so that you could see that the middle finger is the primary goal there. If you can lay that one down, and that time I kept these two guys down as I went up to the 7th fret, and then placed my index finger. 5th fret, 9th. It's a good way to find out where all your frets are too, hey? And then when you hit the 10th fret, you keep going this way. Feels totally unfinished there, so that's the 12th fret, string 1. Okay, now I'm going to play it again, but I'm going to be all zippy with it. Oh, I see a chat there. That's a lot easier for those of you playing tenors. Yeah. I play it on my, so I've got a tenor right now, but I do play it on my concert as well. Now, let's talk about the tippy toe fingers that I was talking about, because when you get up here, everything's tiny, even on a tenor. But how do you get a clear sound, right? This is the thing. You go up high, what do, right? Down here, that's not such a big deal if your fingers are kind of flat because you got more fret space, right? But you get up here, and you'll see me lift my fingers up like this so that the point of contact with the strings is smaller. Because if it's flatter, it's harder to control up there. So right, tippy tippy. And when I get up to that 12th fret, I'm very tippy tippy. So much so that if I'm going to play this slowly, and you'll see my hand shift towards the body a tiny bit. Okay, so here I'm coming, I don't know. I'm just going to play with the chords, okay? Because it's always just the same shape. And if you have a hard time remembering that shape, it's your G7 on the wrong strings. So put your G7 shape on the wrong string. There it goes. See how I start to tip forward a little bit? I know, right? Burning hands and everything, hey? It's a really fun. But yeah, this is the thing. With these lessons, you will find different chords that you may not have ever played before. Relate them to something you know. That G7 on the wrong string, it just dawned on me. Like, yeah, G7 wrong string. When you get up here, sometimes what I do too, I'm just going to keep my hand exactly where it is and then show you. There I am. There we go. Okay, so you see my fingers are leaned slightly towards the sound hole, and I know this isn't the best camera because I couldn't get my other one going for some reason. But the fingernail, there we go. Fingernail is also being used to help make sure that string is securely down on that fretboard. Sometimes you can play just with your finger, using your fingernail as a fret. Now, oh, this one's longest. I'm using my fingernail on my index. I think, yeah, Bailey, you got it going there. Yeah, you can use your thumbnail, everything. Don't ever underestimate the power of a little bit of fingernail on a string to help you out. It's so much fun. Don't let the fingernails be too long though, because then they're your enemy. What is my thumb doing on the left hand? Is it on the knuckle or flat? Okay, good question. Thank you. Okay, so what my thumb is doing down here, I'm not gonna look at my hand. I'm gonna play a little bit and then I'll show you how it's sitting, okay? Okay, right there. There I am. Right there. Look at that. It's right up like I got some great big hands. I don't sit like that there because I don't feel like I need it. So it's usually rocking around on the thumb pad. Okay. Moving where I need it to. Okay, so let's see what else happens. Now I'm self-conscious. I'm moving it down. Still riding on top of the neck there, hey? Just comfortable. I used to think that it always had to be back in the middle of the neck. Always and forever. Big fat rule. No, these rules are guidelines because everyone's hand is a little different, right? Different sizes of instruments, different sizes of hands. Some people have arthritis. Some people have had broken knuckles. I mean, as long as it helps you stabilize and it doesn't hurt, then it's a win. If it does hurt, then you got to take a look at moving things differently. But I'm going to see what happens when I get hopping around on the G7 on the wrong string. Okay, let's see. It's up here there. Yeah. With every step I'm taking up here, as I get going on those tiny frets, my thumb is slowly shifting down to help my fingers get up on their tips more. That's what's going on there. Every step up, I could feel my thumb started here. Yeah. Every step up, I felt it go down like that because, of course, you need more access, right, with those tips. So now when my thumb went, it did go a little bit on the side of the heel of the neck. But I know if my thumb tips to the side a lot, it's going to start feeling a bit unstable. However, when you're up that high, the heel of the neck's going to be there. So my hand did rock a little bit, or my thumb rocked a little bit to the side to just hang on to that part in order to let those fingertips go up. That's a secret for me. When I get up there, I feel like I'm playing a cello, right? I'm all like, la la la. So keep that in mind. The whole thing with this study, the reason why I wrote it, okay, well, I love writing music, love it. And that jazz song will be coming at you guys, I think. We all got to learn those chords. I wrote it so that you would get used to playing this picking pattern, the 4, 3, 2, 3, right? And that by itself is a beautiful picking pattern that you can use with any chord, right? You just sit and play it, right? And then the 1, 3, 2, 3 picking pattern, because that's lovely by itself too. And then to put it together. Oh, look at me. I'm like, wow, to put it together and make it a single pattern. So that was the one goal I had. The other one was to get people to play right up that fretboard high and to take that one movable pattern or the one movable chord and just play with it. And you can see, like, you can do a lot with that chord just with a lot of color. And I like Villalobos a lot. So I would say that music was probably mostly inspired by him. Okay, so questions. Like, unmute yourself, ask a question. You want to have me take a look at your hand, whatever, you know, now's the time. Oh, pardon me, I'm like choking on my coffee. I'm going to put the music back up on the screen too, so that you can ask questions about that, because it seems like that would be very helpful. So I'll share the first, where did it go? There we go. I didn't share anything. Oh my goodness. It's been so long. Has it been a long time for anyone else? Oh yeah, no, we were all talking about that, right? There it is, okay. So I've got the part one. The part one is the big one. If you can get that part down, then the part two will come. And then if you can do that, you can play the whole thing. Because I haven't gotten to the next part of the song yet. That's just, oh, it's fun. So I'm going to sit and play through this. Okay. And now is the time for questions about that part, or observations too, about how your hand is moving or anything. Okay. So I'll start right there on the A sus4, keeping in mind that I like the sound of this on the high 4-tuned ukuleles as well as low. Here we go. I'll say the picking pattern one time and then I'll play it. 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. And yeah, I'll put the PDF's going to be on the webpage. I should have done it before the class, but my camera and I were having a heated debate about whether or not it was going to work. Okay, so now I'm up to the F major 7, which is up on your 5th fret. Okay, next line, so still with the on the 5th fret. Back down to the A sus4, which is fret 2. The secret with this song, remember, middle finger stays on that 4th string. Build your chords around that. Okay, here we go up to the 5th fret to make that A minor shape. So now I'm on that last part here. Okay, so I've got the 5 and the 4 for my frets, and I just play that first picking pattern. Now shifting to frets 4 and 3. Last bit, back home to A sus4. I'll do my 4, 3, 2, 3 picking pattern. And then just hit the 4th string one time with my thumb. Boom. No, I think I saw, did someone? There we go. Where should the little finger be on the picking pad, on the picking hand? Questions abound about the baby finger, right? Here's the thing. Some people let it hover. I tend to do that. Some people plant it. Either way is fine. It's what feels comfortable for you. I like to keep the baby finger free because I do a lot of strumming with it, as well as it was my musical upbringing was to never ever shall you ever touch the soundboard. But I mean, come on. There are many times when I'm picking, like playing with a pick, that I have 2 fingers sitting there. So to stabilize your hand, you do what feels good. I find for me, if the pinky finger is sitting on the soundboard, I feel a bit restricted with my ring finger. But I think that's just for me. You know, it depends on how you play. When I say that, how you play, again, it's your hands. It's a history of your hands. You know what feels right. So now what I want to do is I want to pull up that other. Do you guys see the part 2 now, or is it still sharing on part 1? Has it moved to the next page? No? Okay. I'll stop sharing and then start it up again. There. So, picking pattern's the same, just the chords change. So it's like you take it's one shape. And it's like a coloring sheet. It's one shape and you're just coloring it different colors, but the shape remains the same. The shape, when I think about the finger picking, right? So I'll sit and play through this part, and then I think I better play you guys the whole shebang. Okay, so here we go. I'll play through it. So I start with the A major chord, which is frets 2 and 1. Again, middle finger sitting there on that 4th string. And I do it again. 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. The confusing part is when I do that and I'm saying the string numbers, not the fret numbers. Okay, the end of that first line, that's where you're going to put the ring finger down on fret 2, right here. And you're going to make that triangle shape now with your hands. G7 on the wrong string, right? Is what it should look like. Here we go, I'll pick that. 4, 3, 2, 3. Lift the ring finger off, and you do that same picking pattern again. 4, 3, 2, 3. Next line, ring finger goes back down to make that triangle. Comes back off again. Now it's going to go down and it's going to stay down, and you're going to make that triangle shape and just hopping around following the notes on that 4th string. Here we go. So make it on that 2nd fret. Shift everything up to that 5th fret. On the next bar, we're going down to that 4th fret. Now we're here, we're going up to that 7th fret. Back down to the 5th fret. Thank goodness there's some dots there, hey? All right, 5th fret, here we go. Oops, oh. Just a triangle shape. Now up to the 9th fret. 7th fret, there's a dot there. Wahoo! Okay, so now we're going to do 10, 11, 12. Here we go, 10th fret. 11th fret. 12th fret. Fingers are up on their tippy toes. Yeah. And let me show you what I do when I get up there. When I get up there, 2 options. So you've made your triangle shape, right? You played your... Well, you gotta end the section somehow. You can just reach over and play that 12th fret on string 1. Or if you feel snazzy, you do a harmonic there. Bailey, I saw your ears just perk right up on that. There you go. All right, so harmonic. Touching the string, but not pushing down, right over the fret. You pluck. Let's see. And then lift your finger. Don't lift your finger right away. Should almost tickle a little bit underneath your finger. That's the easiest one, that fret, to get harmonics because it's the center of the string. The hard thing is to not push down because we're so used to pushing, right? Oh, it's after 10? Come on now. Okay, I'm going to play the whole song. And I'm going to put, like I say, I'm going to put everything up on the web page. Was this the whole shebang? Okay. I'm going to look all serious now. I gotta make this a little bit smaller. There we go. All right. Okay, so now this is going to be like a little fancy schmancy concert for you guys. And this is for the folks that might be a little bit more advanced, that are looking for something a little bit more. Here it comes. All right, there we go. So the whole thing. Oh my gosh, I lost track of where I was. Okay, erase that. Let's just start that over again. Here we go, for real. Pretend that one was perfect. I need to focus. Okay. Okay, just erase all that. Here we go, for real. There. Oh, thanks. Okay. So, gotta take your dog out. Yeah, my Fanny is just laying on the couch snoozing away. The last chord that I play there, I couldn't bring myself to lift my fingers like. You can lift your fingers if you need to. That's where playing something smaller than a tenor is kind of handy. But I'll put everything up on the website. So that second part of the song where it's all like, well, it sounds fancy, but it's still just two fingers, right? It's just the A chord shape. Just, it was so much fun. Oh! Okay, so keep in mind though, you guys, when you're playing, just do it in little chunks, right? Like, even when you look at the whole shebang of the song, don't worry about doing it all at once. Little chunks, right? Warm up with a song you're used to playing, then work on the tricky stuff, right? Or the new stuff, right? Where you're working on those picking patterns, okay? Get your fingers warmed up and then start to play. Do it for a little bit so that you can focus and then play something else. And then you can just walk away. Do it like that. And then like for someone like me where I got to make sure that my hand does not get in the shape it did before where it got so hurt and so beat down, short, intense practices are my way to do that, mind you. Now I'm like playing guitar and then my mandolin and then my ukulele, but you know, still trying to be good anyway. All right, I'm going to stop recording now because I think we've got everything we need. So I will say my formal goodbye to the recording.